What's up, guys? Freddie here from Panda, here to give an exciting new review of some 0% APR credit cards that are also exceptionally well suited for the upcoming recession in 2020 and 2021. Once again, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, and also if you could please give this video a like. It doesn't cost you anything and it improves the YouTube algorithm so more people can see this video. The best way you can support us and this channel is by checking out the corresponding article that I wrote below. So before we get started, I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what 0% introductory APR cards are, what they can do for you, and when you might want to take advantage of them and when you may not. So right now with the recession looming, maybe a lot of you guys got laid off, or if you're freelancers, you have less clients, less work, everybody's pinching for money. And a 0% APR card is a great way to get introductory 0% interest on a credit card for a certain amount of time, typically 12 to 18 months, without having to pay interest. So the question is, should you take advantage of it? And are 0% APR cards really truly free money? Well, not exactly. So you do get 0% introductory interest on purchases as well as on balance transfers in most of these cards. However, you really need to consider what your plans are for the future before putting a large balance on a 0% APR card. The reason for that is, even though you don't have to pay interest on these balance transfers and purchases that you do for the introductory period, your credit score is calculated by how much of your credit you are using, as well as many other factors. But what's called a credit utilization ratio is one of the most important aspects of your Experian and FICO report. And it's simply the amount of credit you are using and balance you are carrying divided by your total amount of credit across all your credit cards, and in some cases certain types of loans, personal loans as well. Let's say you're carrying $10,000 and across all of your credit cards you have a full $100,000 in credit across all of your whole credit limit. So your credit utilization ratio would be 10% in that case, $10,000 divided by $100,000. So when your credit utilization ratio goes up, your credit score goes down. But the good news is your credit score is a lot more fluid than it may seem, in the sense that, yes, your credit score is going to go down when you carry a larger balance on it, even if it's 0% APR. But it's going to go up, right back up within a few months once you pay it off. First card I wanted to talk to you guys about is the ABOC Platinum card. This credit card gives you 0% intro APR on purchases for 12 months and for balance transfers for 18 months. You'll also earn a $150 statement credit after you spend $1,200, which isn't great, but considering this card has a no annual fee, most of the cards in this category aren't providing huge bonuses anyways. So what's cool about this card is, much like the Discover It card or the Chase Freedom card, it has rotating 5x categories. Just by sheer coincidence, the bonus rotating quarter for April to June just so happens to be groceries. So if you spend $1,500 on groceries, you get 5x points. And for this quarter and the next quarter, including Q3 2020, the bonus category for the third quarter is going to be dining, which includes takeout and all kinds of travel. And for this quarter, Q2, they're also including gas. Another interesting thing about this card is it has no foreign transaction fees, which is pretty unusual for a card at this level. If you want to transfer your balances in, it's going to cost 3% in the introductory period, and that's pretty standard for virtually all credit cards. Sometimes there are credit cards that do 0% introductory interest and 0% balance transfer, but those cards are pretty unusual right now. So yes, you do have to pay 3% on those balance transfers, but you'll get 18 months to pay those off, to pay off the debt from another credit card at a balance transfer, as opposed to 12 months for 0% interest on purchases. So the next card I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Wells Fargo Cashwise Visa, and it gives you a very generous introductory period of 15 months. You only have to spend $500 to get that $150. There's a couple interesting things about this card. The first one is when it says cash back, it means literally cash back. You can take this credit card to any Wells Fargo ATM and it'll actually give you the cash back as cash, free of charge. Another interesting thing about the Wells Fargo card is for the first year, it's giving an additional 30% bonus of cash back when you use digital wallets such as Google Pay, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay. Another feature this card has that a lot of Wells Fargo cards have is cell phone theft protection. So the last card I wanted to talk to you about is the CITI Rewards Plus card. What's cool about this card is two different things. So the first one, it gives you 2x on supermarkets and gas stations up to $6,000 a year. Those are two categories that we're still spending money on in the pandemic. And it also rounds up all purchases to 10 points. So if you have a $3 cup of coffee or any $5, $8, any purchase under $10, it's going to give you 10 points. And they also give you a 10% rebate on the first 100,000 points redeemed. So this card's a little bit confusing because it says it earns thank you points, but this card is actually restricted to only being able to transfer to JETBLUE, but it does transfer them at a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, if you combine these points with a CITI Premier or Prestige card, then all of the other airline transfer partners will open up to you. So it also does have a foreign transaction fee, just like the Wells Fargo card. It's pretty normal for a card at this level, but it doesn't have an annual fee on it. For people with lower credit scores, I would recommend applying for the ABOC card first. If you're somewhere in between good credit, the Wells Fargo might be a decent option. And if you have good to excellent credit, I think the CITI Rewards Plus card is pretty compelling as well. I also didn't go over the Wells Fargo Platinum card, which is pretty similar to the Cashwise Visa, only it doesn't give you any cash back, but the introductory period is 18 months instead of 15 months. But I didn't find that card that compelling, so I didn't want to go over it as well. And another card I didn't really mention is the CITI Diamond Preferred card. It gives you a whopping 21 months to pay to get 0% interest on balance transfers, almost 2 years. So if you have large debt on another credit card, that's one you might want to look at, but it doesn't earn any points and it doesn't have really any cool features, but you might want to take a look at that one as well. So these are 3 cards that I really like right now that do 0% APR interest. I specifically chose these cards because I know that you don't have to have perfect credit to get most of these, especially the ABOC card. And also because for some of these cards, for example, the CITI Rewards Plus card or the ABOC categories, they are categories that you can actually spend money on right now, that people are spending money on during lockdown and during the pandemic, such as groceries and gas and basics and things like that as well. So that's how I ended up choosing these cards. I hope you guys have found this video informative, and I'll see you soon.